Hello, and welcome to The Fool and the Philosopher.
The Philosopher and the Fool.
So I'd like to make a retraction. It was 2 weeks ago now, or maybe 4, based on how these are split up. But I gave praise to Heavenly Delusion.
That was 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. Saying it was... I mean in terms of episodes coming out. Oh, I guess 8 weeks maybe even.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Now that all of you haven't yet gone out and watched it because you know to wait for the updates, I'd like to retract my 8 weeks prior statement that Heavenly Delusion is one of my good animes. So currently my list still stands now as Your Name and Zone 100, I guess.
And Psyche?
Psyche's good too. Although I might have been in a vulnerable state when I watched that, so maybe if I watched it again I would be less forgiving of... But I remember liking it at least. And then those other 2 animes by the guy that did Your Name are tolerable. Like they're fine. It's just not for me. The reason so we do the episode. I hadn't quite finished it. I was on episode 8, I think, when I said it,
yeah. Or
maybe episode 9. So I'm like, yeah, this is great. It's going somewhere. I get to episode 10. Episode 10 is nothing. It's literally a slideshow. Like I'm not saying that in a figurative sense. I mean. They actually just put slides up of what happens.
Yeah.
There's a little sound effect even because it's meant to be their memory. So it's a literal slideshow. The tone changes entirely to some sort of, I don't know, more standard, goofy, perverted anime thing where they do some like body-based gags and they feel up like a woman's breast and stuff like that. And the plot goes nowhere. Nothing happens. It adds nothing to the rest of the story. Except they get a van, which could have been like a... And it also, they clearly didn't have a budget for the episode. So what they could have done is just added like 1 minute onto the next episode of them getting a van somehow.
Yeah.
Like they could just meet a person that said, oh, have a van. And they're like, sure. And that would be better than this episode. And then it turns out as well that the whole 13 episodes, which I've said before, like if it's going to be multiple episodes, 13 is the perfect number because that means they run out of money. They spent all their budget. They do that. They're done. There is no second season to Heavenly Delusion. But that doesn't mean the story ends. No. It's just they never made a second season.
Yeah.
So it just ends unresolved. But also, they give enough clues in the final episode. And the last 2 episodes are actually decent again.
Yeah.
But the plot doesn't interest me nearly as much anymore because it kind of explains what's going on. And it seems to be, without... It's like spoilers don't matter anymore even. I'm so disappointed. But without spoilers, as best I can, it seems to be a play on the Roadside Picnic story. Probably.
Which is?
Like A Roadside Picnic is that novel. I don't know if it's Russian or Ukrainian or whatever, but these aliens come to Earth, they have a picnic, they leave, and their garbage from their picnic, like their discarded chicken bones and they drop like their watch, basically, and whatnot.
No, it's not.
Becomes this center where humans risk their lives to dive in, and a Stalker series is based on it.
No, it's far more disappointing than that.
Oh. Well, like the anime... Right, like you said, the anime is way better than the manga, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe they have changed the plot, but the 2 different stories happen in parallel.
Well, here's the problem. Here is the problem. So what the anime did way better than the manga is the 2 stories in parallel, and you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Because it's incredibly obvious in the manga what's happening.
Right.
And the anime did a really good job of that. However, it had to follow the manga. And at a certain point, it becomes impossible to delineate the 2 stories.
From what I understand, Death Note kind of did the same thing, where the anime is a much tighter story that doesn't go into all the crazy, ridiculous extras. But then halfway through the anime, they're like, oh, we have to add it all back in now. And then it...
Yeah, well, so that's the thing. Like, for me with Death Note, I stopped watching at halfway.
Yeah, because...
The story's done.
The story's done,
It's a good story. The story's done. And there's a guy who, with Breaking Bad... He refuses to watch the final season. Yeah. Because he said, no, like the 5th season, I don't know how many there are, but let's say there's 6. He's like, no, the 5th season had a great ending. It doesn't need any more story. It's ended there.
Yeah, sometimes it's all about... I think it's kind of a shame because the journey should matter, not the destination, right? But sometimes the destination sucks so much, you're like, why did I go on that journey?
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite series of all time, the Fitz and the Fool, the Tawny Man, and the Assassin's Apprentice. That trilogy of trilogies. Yeah. The ending is so... It's not really out of place for Robin Hobb. She's a horrible person. But it's such a downer, and it's so, like... It's not just a downer, right? If it's a downer ending, you're reading Robin Hobb, you're like, yeah. Like the Soldier Son trilogy, which she also wrote, has a downer ending, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, and you're not disappointed by it. You're like, this is where the story was going. This horrible story. It's her worst series, which is saying something for the Soldier's Son trilogy. But this horrible story has a horrible ending. That makes sense. The problem with the ending of The Fitz and the Fool, like the very final book, is everything is actually starting to trend positive. And then there's like a Deus Ex Machina.
Gut punch.
That makes it... So I guess it'd be Diabolus Ex Machina. Mm-hmm. Like, it shouldn't have happened. It comes out of nowhere, and it makes everything horrible. And you're like, that... Why? You didn't have to do that. That was far less likely than a happy ending.
That is also the Ranger's Apprentice. Oh, yeah? I think I've told you about this, but... So you go through the series. This is spoilers for the Ranger's Apprentice series. Yeah. So you go through the series, and he's an orphan and living with a group of orphans. And the king has this program where he basically looks after children whose parents died in the war.
Yeah.
And they observe them, their caretakers watch them, and each one of them will get an apprenticeship for a pretty good job. So like one of his friends goes and becomes a baker. Another, his childhood sweetheart, goes to train as a diplomat. His childhood bully goes to training as a knight.
Yeah.
And he gets selected by this weird old man who's a ranger. And so he goes through the ranger training. And the story progresses, and he's like this good, happy guy. And his life gets better and better. He becomes best friends with his childhood bully. His childhood bully marries the princess. And life's going good. They are making alliances throughout the lands. They make alliances with the Vikings. They make alliances with the samurai. They defeat the evil wizard, bash him back to his land.
Yeah.
Everything's going, but then there's the book, The Royal Ranger, comes out, and it's basically the start of a new series of The Royal Apprentice. And it's like a 20-year time skip.
Yeah.
So, his best friend, who is the bully, has married the princess properly, and they have a daughter.
Yeah.
So while he's doing a job, his wife was there as well, who's the diplomat, he married her. A bandit attacked an inn and lit it on fire. His wife ran inside and burned to death, trying to save children. For the last 5 years, he's been depressed and not taking care of himself. His master is who's an old man now, is trying to get him better. And so his best friend basically sends his daughter to him to have him look after her because there's stuff going on in the kingdom. And he's like, she's really strong-spirited. Can you train her to be a ranger? And he has her there, and he's like, why do you have to take care of this little girl? She's not even strong enough to pull back a longbow. Girls can't use longbows. Alright, she'll use a sling instead because slings are pretty good, and then he makes a recurve bow for her. And the story's about him trying to love again, but it's just in the time in between one book and another, it's his wife died in a fire.
Yeah.
And he's depressed now, and he's his whole thing was, no matter what, he was this positive guy, he always had the right idea, he would do the right thing, he was this good kid who was growing into a good man.
Yeah, and then he just goes bad. Yeah. I think there's very few series that do time skips well, which is why I don't tend to like time skips, right? Because I think what happens is the author wants a reset.
Well, that's totally what the series was, is apparently I stopped reading after that, but apparently there's a whole series called The Royal Ranger, which is about basically the princess queen, who's also a ranger.
But when they want the reset, they also want to reset all the characterization that they've done. And so they throw it all out the window, and they ruin... There's a reason I tend to really dislike stories that take place in two different times. Like, for instance, the manga, at least, I can still cross my fingers and be in denial of Heavenly Delusion, right?
Yeah.
I think it's not 100% with the anime, but it's pretty clear that it takes place in two different times, right? Like one that's about 20 years before 15 years, I guess, exactly, before the first. And why I don't like that is because you know what's going to happen already, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, this person is this person, this person, this, so you know what's going to happen. And some people like the interest, how did this get to there, right? Yeah. Which is why Clariel was such an interesting book. Well, I thought it was going to be so interesting because it's like, wait, how did Clore of the Mask become so evil? And nothing is about her becoming evil in Clariel. Clariel might be Garth Nix's worst book.
Yeah.
Like, I love the magic system he introduced, because it's focused on free magic, and free magic is so cool. But the story itself has nothing to do with Clore of the Mask.
No.
It's like, oh yeah, no, she's still good at the end of the book, but then just in the last page, oh, she turns evil and then she goes on an adventure and 50 years later she dies and gets a magic mask. Oh, well, okay, that really explained that. But that's time skips, right? Time skips are even worse than the two times, because not only is there the sort of, well, it's not the know it will happen, it's a different sort of thing.
Yeah.
But the author will often just completely reset the characterization, or it'll be a different author entirely that will reset the characterization and ruin, even Rings of Power kind of does this in the reverse fashion, right? Where they make Galadriel like a moron.
Yeah.
Where she's the wisest of the elves in the future and the fairest of the elves. And they make her a moron in their series, which I guess you could say she got better, but...
The dumbest thing Galadriel did, I think, but it's totally up to her, was refuse Fëanor asking for one of her hairs, or 3 of her hairs.
Oh, was he an elf that became evil?
No, so the guy who made the Silmarillion?
Yeah.
So basically what happened is he saw Galadriel with the light of the 2 trees at the beginning of time shining through her hair. And he's like, this is the most beautiful thing ever. So he goes to her and he says, can I have 3 of your hairs to basically forge into something beautiful? And she looked into his heart because she's a super wizard.
Yeah.
And she saw that he wasn't a very good person, basically.
Right.
And she said no. And so he then made the Silmarillions.
Yeah, the Silmarils.
Yeah, the Silmarils, which are stones which capture the light of the trees that's shining through her hair.
Right.
And then everything bad happened about. And then the whole thing with Gimli is Gimli asks for 1 hair from her head. Yeah. And she gives him 3.
Right.
And so if Fëanor was still alive, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Basically, her husband would be going there going like, oh, because it's like a massive bird. That Gimli asks her, like, can I have but 1 hair from your head? And she gives him 3.
Grants him 3.
And that is, like, wars were fought over her not doing that.
Right. I wonder, like, either she, like, I mean, the elves are meant to be otherworldly, right? Yeah. It's hard to imagine hair that beautiful. So I'm kind of wondering, Tolkien have a thing for hair that was a bit, like,
it looks like spun gold.
Yeah. But, like, that's whatever, gold wire.
Yeah, it looks like gold.
I'm not going to start a war over some gold wire.
But it's...
Like, gold's pretty, don't get me wrong, but it's not that pretty. Who has done... Actually, I think... Oh, you know who's done a terrible one?
Tolkien did a good one.
Tolkien did a good time skip? Oh, Hobbit too.
Not even The Hobbit. In the first book, they had the party.
Yeah.
Then Gandalf says, is it secret, is it safe? And then, like, 15 years pass.
Yeah, I guess. Actually, I don't think The Hobbit to The Lord of the Rings is a very good time skip. Because...
Yeah, I'm not talking about The Hobbit. I'm talking about Fellowship of the Ring.
But I'm just thinking about this now, right? Like, just time skips in general. Bilbo is this lovable, the bravest hobbit, right? That ever was. And by The Lord of the Rings, he's evil. Like, he's a corrupt, cruel, greedy man. And he gets better when he goes to Rivendell and whatnot. Yeah. But he's still fragile and has this moments of weakness. And, like, he's a broken man in many ways. Yeah. And the Hobbit ends with him being this brave hero, right? Yeah. So it's still...
Well, but the One Ring's the reason for it.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
There can be like the reason that his best friend went off the deep end is because his wife burned in a fire, but it's still like you didn't give us that. You just kind of said, oh yeah, and actually everything sucks now. Yeah. Like there doesn't tend to be like, you know, the sequel to Snow White where Snow White's dead again.
I've read I think Lord of the Rings more than you. Yeah. And I've
only read it twice.
Yeah, I've gone through it 3 times.
Yeah.
I don't think that Bilbo's actually evil. I think he's like the archetypal curmudgeonly old British man. Yeah. That's kind of what Tolkien was aiming for.
Yeah, well...
He becomes a curmudgeon.
Evil might be the wrong term.
And he's described as quite generous. He's a friend of a lot of young hobbits. He gives away a lot of presents. Even his party, like, people want to go to his party because they know he gives the best presents. Like, yeah. He's lived in Hobbiton for 50 years as a wealthy guy who never really expected much, and he's had to deal with a lot of stuff. And even then, he still has a lot of his old character, but it's like 50 years later, plus the rings warped him. Yeah. But you know, he's I mean, he still has the mysterious spark he had in The Hobbit.
But he tries to like when he's in Rivendell, he's like, "Can I see the ring again?" And then he's like, "Oh, better not." And he's like this man who, while he was off screen, underwent addiction and recovery and is like broken by it, right? Yeah. And he feels like he's very thin and he shouldn't really be alive anymore, but he's still living despite wanting to die, essentially.
Yeah, and I think that was a tool of writing for Tolkien to point out the nasty power of the ring in a safe environment.
And he never does die, does he? He actually just boats to the Undying Land on his own. Does that?
No, he doesn't go by himself. He goes with...
Yeah, well, he goes with Frodo and...
No, he doesn't go with...
Oh, he doesn't go with Frodo?
No, that shows up later. He goes with Elrond.
Oh, okay. So they leave earlier.
Yeah. Or he might have gone with Frodo. I think he did go with Frodo.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, no, he does go with Frodo.
And Gandalf too? Or?
Yes. Yeah, all of them go together. The last ship... How does that work? So, Galadriel's husband, Gildor? Not Gildor.
It's Celeborn.
Celeborn.
Yeah.
Celeborn leaves Celeborn goes with Gandalf as well.
The king of the elves of Lothlorien.
Yeah. The Lord, not the king.
Yeah.
So Celeborn goes with Gandalf and Elrond.
Yeah.
And Galadriel stays behind a lot longer. And then Gimli, Legolas, and Galadriel all get on the same boat.
Oh, Gimli goes as well?
Yeah. Legolas basically asks Galadriel to pull some strings, basically, to let Gimli go. Because their friendship is so deep, they can't be parted.
Right.
And then the very last ship, that's, what's his face? The shipwright makes.
Yeah, the Greyhaven dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The elf with a beard. He and Sam get on it and leave.
Oh. What about Rosie or whatever her name was?
She's dead at that point.
Ah, well, screw her.
Yeah. Sam lives a very long time, and then he gets on the ship. So the very last person affected by the rings, both him and Círdan the shipwright.
I thought that bit in the appendix, I think it is, was a little unnecessarily depressing too, as a time skip thing. That where when Legolas was near, what's in Mount Raldus' land called? Peligir or whatever?
Yeah, Peligir.
When he's like on the border of Peligir, he can hear the seagulls.
Yeah.
And so then when they go and they make Helm's Deep the most beautiful dwarven city ever, he doesn't care because he's too busy occupied with like the sea.
No, that's not what happens. So, what happened in that is, so their bet was he and Gimli went into the Fangorn together and traveled for a while. And then they went into the caves before the dwarves built it.
Yeah.
And of that, Legolas would say nothing.
Yeah.
Because it was so beautiful, he kept it to himself. Because he thought cave wouldn't be that great.
Yeah.
And then the two of them working together later on, after they'd gone back home, is Gimli rebuilt the gates of Minas Tirith and the streets, and Legolas brought his people to dwell in Minas Tirith, and they planted a bunch of trees and very nice things. But despite everything and Legolas enjoying life, he still knew after hearing the Gauls that he had to go to the sea.
Yeah, but I got the impression, maybe I read it wrong, but he was distracted the whole time, basically.
No, he's not distracted. He's basically...
He's like, oh yeah, that's nice, but there's the sea over there.
It's my heart will never be still again, is what he says.
Yeah, well, that's got to be distracting.
The sea, to the sea. Don't you hear the white gulls calling? Let's go to the sea.
Because I think... I mean, Tolkien was actually going to write a sequel to Lord of the Rings called The New Shadow or something like that, or the...
Yes.
And I think he realized at that point, like, no, you have to sometimes let the victories stand.
Yes.
You can't just have the Fourth Age come and everything sucks again.
Well, the Fourth Age wasn't going to be everything sucks. It's just... So the story is based on, I think it's Aragorn's grandchildren, or his two children. So it's based basically on two brothers, and one of them basically usurps the throne over the other. And a new power rises in Mordor because the other one basically goes there to learn the dark secrets. And the whole story was meant to be the remnants of Sauron's power and sorcery, and man now learning the evil and using it. And him ultimately being defeated, but basically it's the fall of man, because the age of man has come and it's meant to be this big thing. But then it's to explain the fall of man and how we get to where we are today.
Yeah, and there'd be no wizards to guide them or anything either, because the wizard's job is done.
Nor any elves.
Yeah, so it's kind of...
And the dwarves are disappearing.
Like, that's something Tolkien does a lot, actually, where he says, like, Shadowfax was the greatest of horses, and his like shall never be seen again.
And to there he never went again.
Or, like, Boromir was the mightiest of men, and his like you'll never see again.
Yes.
It's just like, can you stop doing that?
It's an older style of writing.
But it's depressing.
Yes.
It's like things get worse.
Well, apparently it's not even an older style of writing. I remember, I think I told you about this potentially, but I was listening to these two publicists, and they were interviewing another guy. And they're talking about, if you look at Tolkien's writing, and writing back then, and like publishing, and the schools of writing, like you'd go to learn how to write books even then, Tolkien basically broke every single rule there was about writing books. Like, his method of writing, his syntax, like so many things he did were like this book should never be published.
But he was copying like the Eddas and stuff, right? Like he was...
Yeah, but at the time people are basically saying this book should never be published because it's horribly written. On a technical side, it's horribly written.
Yeah.
However, we look at it again, like technical side, it's brilliantly written. And story-wise, it's brilliantly written. And it's basically Tolkien knew something.
Yeah. Well, I think he knew that the myths were actually written well, right? Like that's...
Or that there's that wonderful interview, which is Tolkien was feeling pretty bad because he couldn't get his book published.
Yeah.
He is trying to get The Lord of the Rings published. And he went to his friend's house. He was visiting with them. And they had a really modern piece of technology, which was you could speak into it and record you, and they would play it back. And his friends had asked him to read some of his writings to them to try to cheer him up.
Yeah.
And they said, why don't we record it so you can hear it back afterwards so you can get a sense of what it sounds like?
Yeah.
And so some of the few recordings of Tolkien reading his own book, and he listened to it one day, he's like, no, what, that's actually quite good. And he did a bunch of Tom Bombadil, so we actually have recordings of him singing some of his songs he wrote and reading some of his poems.
That's cool.
And reading, he read the Charge of the Rohirrim, I think, as well, like part of it. And it convinced him to actually keep trying and to get it published. Because he's like, no, this is good. I did write something good.
It's like, oh, that is actually rather clever.
Yes. A lobe. Totally don't be. Alright, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, I think the answer can be narrowed down very fast, but I'm still going to ask you.
Okay.
So, Heroes of Might and Magic 3 towns, or cities. Which one would you want to live in?
Which one would I want to live in?
So, I can narrow it down pretty fast to 3.
Okay, so not Inferno.
No.
That one's pretty obvious. I don't think I'd want to live in this fortress, like the swamp.
No, that's a swamp.
The barbarian one I probably wouldn't want to live in either. The music's great, but, you know, it might get on my nerves after a while.
Well, the music's not always playing.
So you've got, like, Conflux, you've got the Human Castle, and you've got Rampart, basically, right? Like, those are the 3.
Tower.
The tower. It's always snowy there, though.
But there's genies.
There's
and wizards.
I mean, that is cool. So you get to, like, live with the citizens and...
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a part of his living. You don't want to do Necropolis.
No, not really. Because if you're living with the citizens, then the fortress does have the best healers, which, you know, you probably get sick more often, though, because of all the horrible creatures that are everywhere. Like, you know how mosquitoes are annoying?
Yeah.
You imagine, like, serpent flies or dragonflies?
Splat. They won't even bite you. It's just a serpent fly just hits you in the face and, like, wraps around your head, and you run around screaming.
So I don't think that would be super pleasant.
Oh dear, I actually stumbled into a wyvern monarch's nest.
So I think it's got to be Rampart, though, doesn't it?
Well,
like Conflux would be my...
What about Dungeon?
No, it's underground. I would miss the sun. Now, Conflux I think is the most beautiful.
So Conflux, the one thing that convinced me of Conflux is the fairies building's name.
The Magic Lantern?
Sorry, not that. Is it the water elementals? The Spring of Life.
Yeah, that might be the water elementals. Yeah.
It does have a Spring of Life.
Yeah.
And it has the magic school thing as well. More books. It's very pretty. Yeah. It's very idyllic.
In the Another Heroes 3 mod, he, you know the Magic Elementals orb thing, right? And they have that spinning gold thing that goes around it. You can actually buy that as an upgrade, and it's called Spinny Gold Thing.
So Human Town is basically a medieval human town.
Yeah.
Which has archangels and griffins and zealots in it.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Apparently zealots are like martial artists.
In the game?
Yeah, in Might and Magic.
Yeah, like they have no melee penalty.
Yeah, but not only that, their missiles, like those shots, aren't magic. That's like their ki or something.
Oh, okay.
They're not actually doing like god blasts or magic blasts. They're shooting ki.
Right, and the angels are robots.
Yeah.
But they have souls. So they're kind of like semi-divine beings all the same. But they're... Yeah. So the Inferno, if we're going by the citizens then, having done the Inferno campaign where they build Armageddon's Blade, they are horrible people. Like, they are the worst people ever. They are so awful.
The Keurig?
Yeah, the Kriegans.
The Kriegans, yeah.
The Kriegans are horrible. Like, they'll just like... After my morning torture and murder, I went and summoned a spirit who I threatened to kill unless he went and found more information on Armageddon's blade so I could end the world.
So apparently in the 4th and 5th game, it's not actually that bad to live with the necromancers.
Well, the necromancers are actually, like, even in the 3rd game, they're much more complicated people, right? Like, they're obviously raising the dead and they wage war on people, but they're kind of the neutral power in the world. Yeah. Like, if things get out of balance, they basically restore order.
Yeah, but they actually have human citizens in their lands. Like, not everyone's dead, and they don't just go killing everyone.
Yes, Sandro was actually an exception, and the necromancers rose up together to fight him, but they weren't strong enough.
Yeah.
But, like, all the necromancers banded together to try to stop Sandro.
Yes.
So they're very much, and I think they also worked to stop the Kriegans, because they're like, we don't want the world to end. So they're much more neutral power. That said, the elves, very similarly, are very warlike, and the moment Sandro was defeated, I think it was when Sandro was defeated. No, sorry, it was during the restoration of Arathia. So when Catherine finally drove back the Kriegans and restored Arathia, because the whole place had been conquered by the dungeon and everything, she finally throws everything back and defeats them. She is suddenly attacked by the elves, because the elves don't want to be part of the alliance anymore. And so the elves start slaughtering peasants and going
now, you're not living in Arathia.
Okay.
This city, I don't know what weird dimension or isekai is going. Maybe it's even just transport to Earth and you live there. I don't know how it works, but I'm saying basically ignore the extraneous factors. It's just which one will you choose to live in.
Because if you go by, like, the lore...
Yeah. Like, you can go by the lore, but it's just not the... you're not being put into Arathia, so you don't have to worry about getting attacked by Kriegans.
Right. But, like, I think, like, the humans are probably the least evil faction.
Well, isn't the tower, like, the wizards, they're just...
Oh, the tower, yeah, they've never really done anything wrong.
I mean, they don't let you go be a barbarian. Your mom doesn't let you go be a barbarian.
They must have done... They have slaves, and they do magical experiments on people.
Do they?
Yeah. They're the biggest slaver nation.
Is that what the gremlins are?
I don't know. The barbarians have, like, no malice in their hearts.
But they're like 40k orcs, aren't they?
Basically, yeah. They'll go and fight and kill people, but they're doing it out of love.
Yeah.
So the barbarians...
They're like lads.
So in many ways, the barbarians are the nicest faction. Except they'll kill their neighbors all the time.
What about the swamp? Like, besides you have to live in the swamp.
So the swamp, at least... what's her name? The lady who specializes in fire magic.
Yeah.
I forget. Adrian.
Yeah.
She's a very good person. But the swamp people are kind of racist. So they don't like her. Racist is the wrong term. She has fire magic, so she's like an exile that they fight against. Like, they hate her a lot. But she's the one that actually saves the entire swamp nation from the necromancers, drives the necromancers out, defeats Lord Hart. So obviously humans have betrayal, right? Like Lord Hart is an obvious example. So she's the one that defeats Lord Hart, really.
Okay, let's strip away these the
conflicts. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. Like, they help the humans defeat the Kriegans to stop Armageddon's blade, but there's also and they keep giving the humans visions, conflicts, to help them stop Armageddon's blade. But Galoo keeps getting visions telling him, you could remake the world if you had Armageddon's blade, and you could... So I think...
Conflicts
is dodgy.
Let's pull back and just look at the towns.
Okay.
And, like...
So, and also in lore, conflicts can make... Like, their towns, they just appear. They just spring up like mushrooms. Whereas the Kriegans, what they do is they summon a volcano and it spews up from the earth their city. And so that's where the Infernos come from. So, yeah, not living there. So, yeah, okay, so just going on, like, the vibes of the city.
The vibes and, like, the buildings and the creatures in it.
So, tower, a lot of snow, that's a lot of magic, so that's cool.
Yeah. It's probably warm there. Like, look at the Nega's clothing.
Well, I mean, they're magical creatures.
They're snakes.
They're cold-blooded. Yeah. So they like the cold.
No, that's not how that works at all.
So
there's a chance of being stepped on by a titan or giant.
Maybe. I'm sure they keep an eye out, But, so, snow, downside, slaves, maybe that's an upside. You don't have to do your own chores or whatever.
Yeah. Why do they need slaves? They've got golems and gargoyles.
Yeah, I really don't know, actually, why they... Like, the golems, especially. The wizards are the ones making all the golems. Like, you think... Yeah, slaves seem kind of a waste of time. So, no, I don't think I'd want to be in Tower, despite the magic. Conflict is the most magical place, really, in many ways. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
I don't... Like, the planeswalkers...
The only citizens you could really hang out with, though...
Are, like, the earth dudes.
Are the fairies.
Oh, or the fairies, yeah.
Because, like, I don't know. Maybe you could actually hang out with the magic and psychic elementals.
Maybe.
I just feel like it's not even like personality. It's like a guy made of wind would be kind of hard to be around.
Or fire.
Yeah, or fire, or plasma.
Yeah.
Or magma. Like the earth ones, the fairies, maybe the water and ice.
Well, that's the problem as well with the heroes, right? Like the planeswalkers, they embody the plane that they're from.
Yeah.
So like Ignissa is just a being of fire. Seelie, like they do have some elementalists, like Seelie and
the guy who specializes in fairies, who's got the earring.
They don't have a fairy specialist.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
He's got like the brown hair and the pointed ear and the earring, and he looks a bit like Fabio without long hair.
No clue who you're talking about. Is that not a Heroes 2?
Nope.
No?
He's one of the human-looking elementalists.
Like, they have a Bloodlust specialist, who's Ignatius. They've got Seelie, who's the Magic Arrow specialist.
Oh, it might be Seelie.
She's a woman.
Oh, no. Okay. No, there is a dude. Like, he's just a straight-up dude. He might be a water elemental specialist?
I don't think there is a tier 1 fairy. Oh, maybe he's like a different one, yeah.
No.
Not water elemental. There's Lacus and...
Yeah, no, like he is just a dude.
Cult.
I don't remember what he specializes in.
Okay. There's you might be thinking of the disruption ray specialist actually. He's like an elf.
Yeah, he's just a normal looking dude.
He's Anan.
Might be Anan.
He's got like a bald head or something.
No, he's got brown hair.
Okay.
We'll have to look at the game.
I guess. Yeah. So Rampart, civil wars that the elves go into a lot aside.
Yeah.
Very peaceful, very beautiful.
It's kind of rustic. Like you have to look out for centaur poo.
Yeah, but it's very rustic, but it's very charming and peaceful. The cliffs with the dragons on them.
I mean, you don't like horses, and there are 3 units there that are horse based.
That's a good point.
There's the centaur, the Pegasus rider, and the unicorn.
I think I'd just be like.
I mean, here's the thing though. Here's the thing about the Rampart though, is it's got a mystic pool that literal money springs out of, and it's got the dwarven vaults. You put like $10 in there.
Yeah.
And
every week you get 10% back.
Yeah, so 10 weeks later...
That's compound interest.
Yeah, 10 weeks later, compound interest. Your $10 is like 100.
Yeah, you're doing...
It's more than 100.
Yeah, and then that 100's giving you 10 every week. Yeah, you're making bank, literally.
Yeah.
Well, you're making treasury, I guess it's called.
Yeah.
Are Coven Forge in contention?
I didn't add them because I'm not as familiar with them.
Okay. So, I think... I don't want to live in a medieval town, I don't think. And so I don't want to be in castle, probably.
Well, it's a medieval town that has, like, nuclear physicists.
And then the problem with Conflux, I think it'd be kind of like living in Dubai or, like, a very rich, like Hong Kong or Singapore or something, where very rich, there's wonders around every corner.
Yeah.
And you can go out and be dazed and amazed every day. But you would feel sort of, like, detached and isolated. Like, you wouldn't feel like you can really build a home there, right?
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't really make connections and settle down. And when I put it that way, I think Rampart's the only choice. Like, I think the castle town, you could do that, but you'd be living in a city. It feels very much like a city. Whereas Rampart, I think you could find a little
elven cottage.
A little cottage somewhere. And
a little elven cottage with some elven archers who shoot twice.
Yeah. You could just be tucked away in the forest somewhere. And I don't like the snow that much. Like, I'm not really a fan of winter. So I don't think I'd want...
Is Tower permanent winter? I thought it's on top of a mountain is more the idea.
I don't know. I just got the impression it's like permanent winter there. Like they live in the north.
But their style's like Sultanate.
Yeah.
It's like wintry Middle Easterns. It's weird.
It is. It's kind of neat in a way, yeah. but it doesn't...
Like, I imagine it's pretty warm inside their buildings.
Like, no one besides maybe the Master Gremlins are dressed for the weather. And the Master Gremlins are almost...
The wizards! They're wearing big robes.
Big robes, I guess, but they're not wearing hats or anything. No, I think it has to be Rampart. How about you?
Necropolis. No.
That's like a blasted wasteland. Like it's...
Yeah. No, Necropolis is not pleasant.
Even if you don't mind the hordes of undead everywhere.
Dungeon would just be too weird. Yeah. Like, the not being able to relate to anyone.
Yeah.
Like, that's major. Like, even if everyone's perfectly nice to you in Dungeon, its citizens are troglodytes, minotaurs, medusas.
Yeah, Mutter Drake, the Mother of Dragons lady, she's actually like a kind of decent person. Like, the dungeon higher, the wizards in Color of Magic from Terry Pratchett? That's basically how the dungeon people live their lives. Like, the moment someone shows weakness, you stab them and you get promoted.
Yeah.
Like Klingons, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So that's a nasty aspect of their society. Mm-hmm. But Muter Drake's like, it'd be nice to have some sons so I could have some green dragons here. And because they're so beautiful. So, she's like nice among them in a way. But just with the dragons. She's more interested in all of them. They're all interested in the creatures rather than the people, right?
Yeah, so the dungeon overlords, even the name Overlord.
Yeah.
Is kind of like a...
Sandro's teacher was a decent man. Yeah. He's a dungeon character. Yeah. He's a warlock.
The barbarians, living in the it's a desert. It's what are they called? It's a cap rock desert.
Yeah, it's like a wasteland, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like where the Huns would live.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of that. Your soup, you would, have to not think too much about eating it. That's what you're going
to... Well, not the Huns, but the Mongols more.
Yeah, but, if you get food at the barbarian town, it's either you get, a big roast something, or you get, a bowl of, sort of sloppy soup, and while you eat it, you try not to look at what you're eating, because there might be something floating that you don't want to think too much about.
Their horde building is called the mess hall, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, the goblins walk around, and, oh, how are you doing? And then you'd, walk by and be the Gauls fighting each other, except they'd be killing each other in, a big pack, and some orcs would, go in there, then a Cyclops would, pick some up and throw them.
Yeah.
Even if they all left you alone, because you would be a human there, which would probably mean you're, one of the barbarians, the Battle Master or whatever they're called.
Yeah, one of those, a Battle Mage or a... I don't remember what the other ones are called.
So you'd probably be left alone as a human if you lived there. But
maybe, yeah.
Still, and then... Conflicts is very pretty, and I don't know if, you were saying you wouldn't be able to form connections, but I think you could hang out with the fairies and the sprites.
Maybe. I think they'd probably be alien or something. They're a bit different.
Maybe.
Right?
I don't know. I think you could hang out with them.
Yeah.
And you could chill with the psychic elementals. That would be a little weird, but I think you could chill with them and the magic. And it's very, very pretty looking.
Yeah.
But as I said, definitely not hell. The swamp, it's a swamp, and I do not like living in swamps. I already live in a marsh.
Yeah.
I don't want to upgrade to swamp where you have to walk across the walkways. And
everything's poisonous or deadly or you can't look at it.
And the citizenry are gnolls.
Yeah.
Those are the most...
Gnolls and witches.
Yeah, those are the relatable people.
Yeah.
Because some things have a lot of sort of humanoid things in it. Whereas they've got one.
Yeah.
In the swamp, and that's just the gnolls. No, the lizardmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be weird.
Yeah.
Lizardmen are gnolls, or witches. And so it goes back to Rampart Tower or Human Town. Human Town, it is more advanced than Medieval Town and has magic, but still a medieval town. So no to that. Then looking at the other two that we have left. The Wizards is tempting.
Yeah.
Slavery and all.
Yeah.
They have the golems, they have the wizards.
You gotta remember, though, it was Isaac Asimov who he was asked one time at a convention. He was sitting with his wife, and his wife was actually asked the question, I think, which was something like, if you could live in any time period, what would it be? And she said, I'd love to live in feudalism, to have a bunch of serfs do things a bunch of servants do things for me. And he was like, no, we would be the serfs and the servants. Yeah, so... if you want to join a society with slaves, you got to be prepared to pony up and be one of the slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and also, slavery bad.
Yes.
Well, I think it can have its place potentially. The problem, I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
The potential for abuse is so high that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But in theory, as a way to pay off debts or something, the states actually did that for quite a while after slavery was banished.
Technically, in certain states, under very specific circumstances, slavery is still legal.
No, I think they basically got rid of
they finally got rid of that?
2013.
Okay.
They got rid of prison slavery.
No, this wasn't even prison slavery. It's this really weird, very specific situations, which in certain states, if you did the right things through the right situations, you could yourself, it had to be your own choice, put yourself into slavery.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's still a thing or not, like a debt slavery sort of thing.
I don't know all the circumstances, but there was a way to put yourself into slavery.
And there's been a case...
It had to be on purpose.
Was it in Canada or was it in the States where they wanted to force doctors to work? Or maybe it's the UK even. But, that's slavery right there. Yeah. So it's so convenient that we always come back to it. But then we don't
of
innovate.
all the people to force to work, doctors seems like a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I think I'd go with the Rampart.
Yeah.
Because it's very nice. I think that the centaurs are people, basically, just with horse bits.
Yeah.
The elves are probably, like, elves in Might and Magic are basically people.
Yeah, they're just very, like, violent, backstabby people. But yeah.
The dwarves are grumpy, greedy people. I think that Pegasus riders are elves. Or human.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. One or the other, probably.
Yeah. But they're probably, like, nice. And I'm allergic to horses.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would be allergic to centaurs or Pegasus or unicorns. Those are like, you can't be allergic to a unicorn. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah.
Like, and if a unicorn likes you.
Yeah, I bet they're huge, though, those war unicorns.
Oh, yeah, those war unicorns are like, what are those, like?
Oh, Shetland ponies. Yeah.
No, Shetland ponies. Those are small. They're the draft horse.
Oh, the Clydesdale. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a Clydesdale draft horse in size. And I don't know if the green and gold dragons are.
I think they're like sentient. I'm not sure.
And then the dendroid soldiers are just big tree dudes.
Yeah.
And there are humans that live, like Gem's a human.
Yeah, she's from Enroth.
Yeah.
So she's not. She was when you play her. You've played her campaign, right? Yeah. Her class is actually sorceress. She has a different class.
No, I played her expansion campaign.
Yeah, the expansion campaign. She starts as a sorceress because it's the expansion, like Shadow of Death, takes place before all the other campaigns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a prequel.
I didn't pay too much attention to the story.
Yeah. But yeah, if you look at her throughout the campaign, her class
I'm not
changes.
playing the game to read.
Yeah. Well, I just thought, I thought it was fun because she talks about how, wait a minute, what are centaurs and dwarves doing in the same settlement? And it kind of talks about Heroes 2.
So we've both gone to
Rampart.
Yeah. So number 2.
Okay, so number 2, every place is nicer, I think. Except the Necropolis is about the same.
I think the Necropolis is nicer.
Like the Necromancer. Oh, I guess it is. But it's permanent nighttime, right?
Yeah, it's
permanent
dark,
storm, I guess.
But it's very shiny.
Yeah, it's got the pyramid and the fancy laboratory and
and
the vampire mansion
and the lich house and the zombie graveyard. And
the
mummies.
I guess everything is a bit nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't.
I think the humans become the worst in a lot of ways.
The barbarians.
Barbarians. I mean, it's kind of you got.
It's still the Mongolian steppe.
Well, it's even more. It's more
desert.
Yeah, it's just like
If we go to Slugfest.
Yeah.
They are in a desert.
Yeah.
The humans are in a winter. The wizards are in literal, weird, orange, rocky, hexagonal terrain.
Yeah.
The necromancers are in blasted hellfire landscape.
Yeah. But if you just look at the town screen, right? Yeah.
The wizard's town is also in that weird orange land. Although their castle is very pretty, the wizard castle. One thing I will note is they're all a lot more medieval castle.
Yeah. I think the wizards, it's very pretty. Everything's made of ivory, right?
Yeah.
Which is
or marble.
Or marble or something like that. It's called the Ivory Tower for the upgrades. So it could be marble though, I guess.
Bone.
Yeah, they had to kill a lot of elephants for that.
Well, there's dragons. You go over to the
dragon
lavatory.
Yeah.
And steal some bones.
Go over. The Warlocks is much nicer as well. It's kind of like this old
moors. It's like the moors.
Yeah, but
it does have a big swamp, but you have to go to the swamp.
But everything's sort of basalt or granite construction, and it's charming. It's kind of like being in British Columbia or something.
Yeah, it's like medieval British Columbia.
Yeah, so it's like the UK.
Yes.
Yeah, except more so. It's like Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Sorceress town is actually even more rustic in many ways.
Yeah.
It's very compacted. The town screen, they've got a single little clearing that everything gets crammed into. They stick the unicorns in a paddock.
Yeah.
And the elves have a training range.
Yeah. And there's the dwarves have a house.
Yeah. I love the dwarf hut. I love that thatched hut.
And the fairies are actually little.
They're in a treehouse.
Yeah, they have little trees. The Phoenix Tower is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's like
kind of that weird Japanese
like the tower
Indonesian almost.
Pokemon. The tower of the dogs or whatever.
Yeah, the tower that Ho-Oh will fly out of.
Yeah, it looks very much like that.
Yeah.
So I think the Sorceress is actually, it's a bit too being in a bustling city almost, right?
I think I'd go with the wizards.
Yeah, I mean, it's very pretty, but again, it's very... I think I'd go with the warlocks.
You think?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like... I think
warlocks in this economy?
Well, I mean, they have a dungeon, so they can make...
Oh, they do actually get more money than anyone else.
Yeah. And the wizards is the most expensive faction in the game. Who are you to talk? So I think...
But who you... Alright, the people you'd be living with.
Yeah.
Like, let's look at what citizens you'd be living with. So you've got centaurs.
Yeah.
You've got griffins.
Yeah.
Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Giant snakes.
Yeah.
With many heads.
Hydras, yeah.
Minotaurs.
Yeah.
And dragons.
Yeah, but also the warlocks. Like, we can hang out. We can talk about necromancy.
If you've played the Might and Magic games, even Dark Messiah, the case is it's actually basically in all those civilizations there are a lot of humans, and those things are like their warriors, which they specially capture and breed for war, and like they don't have many of.
And also, the best part of living in the warlock town, right? It's the man that's belting in a baritone, like,
singing the Bible backwards.
No, he's doing a "Thus spoke Zarathustra" in German.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoa.
What was the wizard tower? It's the
so there's the Wizards is basically the most complicated town you could ask about.
Yes.
Because the beta for Heroes 2, they played the song that went to the Knights.
Yeah.
But then in the base game, they swapped the midis and the opera tracks around. Yeah. So they have like the MIDI, which is like the non-opera track of like the necromancers, and then the opera of like themselves or something. But then in Price of Loyalty, they have another track.
Yeah, so Price of Loyalty is the one I'm going off of.
Okay, because I don't know the Price of Loyalty tracks that well, so...
Well, that's the one we played. That's the one we had the CD for. No, we just had the base game?
Yeah, we didn't have the expansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going with the base game.
Yeah, sure. But the base game, it mixes them up, right? Yeah. So it gets very confusing.
Well, you can choose opera mode or non-opera.
Yeah, but they don't give you the same track. They switch it between the factions. Yeah. So it's not the same song. It's a totally different song, which it's supposed to be like the same song, basically. Yeah. So I have no clue what any of this... It's very confusing to track all the songs, basically. And then it gets even worse with...
Yeah, but I'm hanging out with pigs,
yeah,
which I can't eat them because I'm allergic to pig.
Yeah.
And golems.
Yeah, which you can't eat because you're allergic to rocks.
And halflings.
Yeah.
Which I can't eat. I can't eat.
You probably eat a halfling.
No, the halfling, like, their houses are pretty chill. Yeah. Like, those are basically Tolkien halflings.
Yeah. Well, if you want like a chill... Like, the ogre's adobes look pretty nice.
No.
It's kind of like Mexico. The barbarians basically live in Mexico.
Yeah, I don't want to live in Mexico.
It's like Mexico with cool trolls.
Yes, I live wolves and goblins and Cyclops pyramid.
I mean, that thing looks cool, doesn't it? That thing looks really cool.
Look, I would live in the Wizards.
Yeah.
And on Slugfest, the Wizards live right next to the Barbarians, so I'd go there on holiday.
No, the Wizards live... The Barbarians are in the...
The Wizards are very...
No, the Wizards are in the top left corner. The Barbarians are due east. They're like...
They're above the Necromancers.
Yeah, the Necromancers are in the
bottom
bottom right.
Is the Warlock in between them?
The Warlock's top right. So it's like this. It's like Warlock, Barbarian, Necromancer, Sorceress, Knight, Wizard, and then these two spots are just treasure zones.
Right.
Yeah. There's like 9 zones.
Yeah, I thought the Wizards were next to it. You're right.
Yeah. How could you not know that?
But we can't go and visit. I think I'd still stick with
Wizards. If you're actually going to be basing it all on Slugfest, then I would live in Castle, and then I'd walk out of the castle, and I'd head over to the Sanctuary, and take out my shovel, and I'd dig up the Grail. And then I would have the Holy Grail.
Yeah, but the Grail on that one isn't the Holy Grail.
Well, then I'd have like the Golden Goose or something.
You'd have Golden Goose, magic wand, a magic book, a sword, or a piece of armor.
Yeah. I mean, and then I can be like King Arthur or something. I don't know. No, I'm just going on the town. And I think Warlocks. It's not too hot. It's not too dry. You got... Warlocks are evil. Do we take that into account, or...
Yeah, but they're not... Like, you're living there. They're going to be chill with you.
Yeah, but I don't want to live with a bunch of evil people that are like...
So I was living with the Wizards.
I mean, with your slaves.
No, this is Heroes 2 Wizards.
Oh, so you think Enroth is better than Arathia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Well, then the Warlocks are better, too.
No, they are. They are evil. When you look at the screen, do you have a nice little frilly thing going around your screen, or do you have skulls and purple and red gems?
What about the dude with the popped collar and the bald head and the white hair? Like, he doesn't look like a bad guy.
No, well, people mix him... Like, there's an orc in the Night Town.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think, like, the elf-looking dude is probably fine.
There's... In the Wizard Town, there's that guy with green skin and red eyes.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. The, like... What is he supposed to be? Is he a genie?
I have no idea.
And then they have Flint, who's got blue skin.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, I am going with the wizards.
All right. Well, I'm going with the warlocks, provided they're not evil.
They have, like, besides the human faction, they have, like, the most actual people in it.
Right.
They've got wizards.
But I think it'd be cool having, like, living side by side with, like, the minotaurs and the hydras and the dragons and the gargoyles.
If the hydras ever get frisky, you can just run away.
Yeah, they're slow.
They're really slow.
But I think, it's nice.
I recorded a video once of I was playing Slugfest against myself.
Yeah.
And know how you get the really big army at the start?
Yeah.
And basically you can face pound someone, and if you win, then you have to avoid someone else's army. So I think the Warlock's army collided with someone else's army. And I played it really poorly for the Warlocks by accident. And ended up with just the Hydras being left. And it was sort of the situation where it's like, I want to play these both as best as I can. And so I spent 2 hours sitting there as I ran the archers around, avoiding the Hydras and constantly shooting them and like positioning it. Because it was nightmarish, actually.
You should have done the secret tech where you can move and shoot.
Can you?
In very specific circumstances, it's possible. Yeah. Which I did as a kid, and I thought, oh, wow, that's cool. And I tried to find the button I had pressed, and I couldn't find it anywhere. It turned out I'd just done a bug, basically. That was very rare. But yeah, you can actually move and shoot occasionally. Okay, so you're living with the... Okay, now, next question then. You're living with the wizards in Heroes 2 and the Rampart in Heroes 3. Yeah. Which would you rather live in?
Ramparts in Heroes 3.
I think Rampart for me as well, yeah. Okay.
What about Heroes 4?
I don't know them well enough. But here's the easiest one, all right?
What about Heroes 5?
Heroes 1.
I don't know that at all.
I would definitely live in the mountain for the big purple dragons. You just give them a cute hug. Oh. Have you seen those things?
They're yes, so I've seen those.
And then if you lived with the forest or whatever they're called, with the enchantresses, like with the fairies, those things are hideous. I would not want to live anywhere near those things.
Okay, I actually know Heroes 5 towns pretty well.
Yeah, I know them okay. They're all very big cities. They're all terrifying.
Living in the elf one would make you so motion sick.
No, they all spin. The camera spins.
But the elf one spins the fastest.
The elf one...
Okay, so the wizard one would be terrifying because it's a flying city.
Yeah, but all of, like, the dungeon's, like, hanging from the ceiling, right?
The humans is basically Minas Tirith.
And the elf is a giant tree. Like, how do you get around in that place?
The dwarf one is a pit.
Oh, I haven't ever looked at the dwarf one.
And the barbarian one...
I never played the expansion.
The barbarian one's a giant tent.
Yeah, those are the two expansion, which I never saw, right? No, wasn't it like a big palisade or something? Like
no, it's a giant tent that you're on the inside of.
Yeah, well, I'll live in the tent then, because I don't want to be falling off the other structures.
The necropolis is like a ziggurat.
I guess you don't fall as far in a ziggurat.
Yeah, you go, ow!
Yeah. No, I don't know the other games that well.
And the Inferno is like a giant pillar.
Oh, just so we know, my time... So I've got to leave around 12:15, so I want to stop around 12 so I can eat lunch. Yeah, so like short, 2 hours at most.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, just...